Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alec Reed. This is my channel, Alec Reads. Today we are reading Marriage, a Heartstopper fanfiction by heartstopper_fan22 on Wattpad. Today we are reading chapter 31, Lost Things. Another thing that I want to say, I now have a Spotify. So, because you guys are so amazing and you guys have supported me so amazingly and everything, and have joined me through the new beginnings of a whole new channel, I've decided to make a Spotify where I do older content, where I won't get flagged, like on YouTube. So yeah, on Spotify I will have 18 plus content, so yeah, that should be a lot more fun for my my friends who like the spicier content, because I prefer that I can make everyone happy with my content. So yeah, so just let me know it down in the comments. Any type of content, it doesn't have to be on YouTube, it can also be on Spotify, which will be under Alec Reads, same as here, and yeah, it should come up. It will have a picture of Tori Spring, because she's me, is what I feel. Anyway, we are going to jump right in. Welcome back, friends, if you guys are not new here. But yeah, we're going to jump right into the video. Like, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. Let's get right into the video. Chapter 31, Lost Belongings. Charlie's perspective. I was fighting to stay awake whilst Nick carried me back to the blanket. We had walked a pretty far way down the beach. It was probably around a 10-minute walk back to the blanket. After he had been carrying me for 5 minutes, I felt that I was fine to walk. Plus, I felt bad that he already had carried me for 5 minutes. I say, Nick, you can put me down now. I'm fine to walk the rest of the way. You're probably getting tired. He didn't say anything. He just laughed. I was confused why he thought what I said was funny. He replies, Charlie, I'm not tired at all. Plus, I love it when you cuddle up to me all close. I don't understand why he's not tired. I've been eating properly for the most part. Why could I never get better? What is wrong with me that makes me uncurable? Him saying that I was super light, or he's not tired when he carries me, makes my progress feel invalid, but worse, makes some tiny part of me want to be lighter, smaller, and just completely go back to square one. I know it's stupid and I shouldn't think this way, but that's just how my brain works. I hate this feeling, but I can never escape it fully. I want Nick to see that I'm trying to get better and that I'm making improvements. I just want him to be proud of me. My hands are clenched onto his shoulders. My body is sitting on his waist. His hands are wrapped around my thighs, holding me up, and my head is bobbing up and down with every step he took. We finally arrived at our beach blanket, and the sun was beating hotter than ever, which just made me more tired. Nick carefully placed me down on the blanket, but as he was doing that, he did the thing that I hated. He put his hands around my stomach like he was sizing me and trying to check how skinny I am. I hated this because he would try and play it off like he was just guiding me down, but really, I knew what he was doing. Nick says after placing me down on the blanket, So, are you going to tell me what's wrong, babe? I didn't want to talk about it right now because of how angry I was about the whole eating sizing thing. And I don't want to get upset and lash out at him again. Can we talk after I rest? I'm just so exhausted. Of course, Char. We can talk about it when you're ready. I love you. I quickly respond, I love you too. Nick's perspective. Charlie fell asleep after laying down for what felt like 2 seconds. I could tell he was still tense, and there was something bothering him. He just seemed so out of it, and that only happens when he's got something important or bothersome on his mind. I can't always get through to him right away. It usually takes a while for me to pry it out of him, but I eventually get through. I went to grab a snack from the beach bag, and when I reached my hand out in front of me, I realized my promise ring that Nick had given me was gone. My heart sank to the bottom of my chest. Tears immediately came flushing from my eyes. I had worn this ring every day since Charlie had given it to me. It was my favorite gift ever. It symbolized our commitment to each other and our special bond. Charlie said he spent weeks looking for the perfect one, and I just lost it. Tears came streaming down my face rapidly, and I couldn't stop crying even if I tried. I felt so useless. I just wanted to scream at the top of my lungs and pound on my chest into the sand. But I won't, because I don't want to wake up Charlie. I'm not scared of Charlie at all. He would never do anything to hurt me, but I fear his reaction. Because if he's sad or angry about it, it will break my heart. I start frantically looking around and moving the sand with my hands in and out of deep piles. 15 minutes go by and nothing. I can't find it. It's nowhere near our blanket because I've searched all around it. I thought of me losing it in the ocean, and that makes my tears fall faster and my throat feel smaller. I couldn't bear the thought of it being gone forever. I was starting to panic, and so I stopped looking and just sat there on the beach, with my hands in my face. I was crying so much that my hands started to fill with tears. I didn't move my hands away from my face. I just let the tears slip between my cracked fingers. Charlie's perspective. I finally decided to wake up from my nap. For the last 20 minutes, I have been on and off from sleep because I could hear faint noises. They almost sounded like somebody was crying. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, and to my surprise, Nick wasn't beside me when I looked around and spotted him like 7 meters away from our beach blanket with his hands covering his face. He was probably so angry with me for wasting yet another one of our days together. I started walking towards him, but when I got closer, I realized he was crying, like hysterically crying. I hadn't seen Nick cry like this before. I started running as fast as I could towards him. I slid down on my knees and wrapped my arms around him, not saying anything, just letting him cry. He didn't move or stop crying. I have no idea what has made him this upset, but I know it's not about naps. It must be something much worse. Chapter 32. Replacement. Charlie's perspective. I was starting to get worried. It had been a few minutes, and Nick was still in my arms, not moving or saying anything, just bawling his eyes out. I don't really know if I should try and talk to him, or just sit in silence for a bit longer. Nick, baby, what's wrong? Why are you crying? I wait a few seconds, and nothing. Babe, did something happen? He was just sitting there crying, and I couldn't even see his face because his hands were covering his face. I pulled his hair up and out of his face, then grabbed his hands and slowly slid them away from his face, revealing his soaking wet, red, puffy face. His eyes were red and his face was wet, and the tears were still coming down quickly. I started wiping away the tears falling from his face. He looks away from me, trying to hide his face, but I put my hands around his face and lightly tilt his face so that I can look at him again. Nick, what's happened? He tries to look away, but I don't let him. I press my face against his so that our foreheads are touching. He then says, I'm so sorry. I'm the worst boyfriend ever. I pull my face away from his and look him in the eyes and hold his hands. Nick, you are not. You are the most perfect boyfriend in the world. Sometimes our feelings get hurt or we get angry, but that doesn't mean our relationship isn't the most wonderful thing in the world and that has ever happened to me. He shakes his head, then says, "No, I made a mistake that can never be fixed." Instant fear rolls through my body. I don't understand what he means by a mistake that can never be fixed. The only thing I can think of is he cheated on me, but Nick would never do that. I say, "I don't understand. What mistake did you make?" "Whatever mistake you made, you can tell me." He turns his face to me and says, "I'm so sorry, Charlie. I don't know what happened. I went to grab a snack from the bag and I realized my promise ring was gone. I searched everywhere, but nothing. It's gone forever." I could tell how extremely upset Nick was. Nick loved this ring. He talked about it constantly. I know how much it meant to him. I wasn't mad at all. I was more sad that he was so upset about this. I hate seeing him cry. "Nick, please stop crying. It's okay. I still have mine, and yours is the exact same as mine, so we can just go to the jewelry shop when we get home, and you can get the exact same one as a replacement." He looked a bit better, and the tears started slowing down. "Okay, but it will never be the same as the one you gave me all those years ago. It was so special and meant everything to me." I hug him once again and say, "I know it's sad, but you can't focus on the old one anymore. It's gone. You just need to focus on the new one." He snuggles in tight and clings onto me, craving reassurance and comfort. I wanted to tell him how much he meant to me, so I thought this was the perfect moment. "Nick, I love you so much, and you mean everything to me. I felt this way since we started dating. I know how much that ring meant to you, and I'm so sorry that you lost it. But it's okay, because we will always have the memory. We don't need a ring to show our affection and love towards each other. All we need to show that is you being by my side, always." This cheered him up a bit. He even cracked a little bit of a smile, but he was still crying. He stands up and starts searching again. I knew that there was probably no chance of him finding the ring, because he most likely lost it in the ocean when we were playing beach volleyball. I follow behind him and rub his back, while keeping an eye out myself. I didn't want to tell Nick that there was no hope, because that would just make him sad, and maybe there is a small chance we find it. Time skip. Nick's perspective. I was determined. I wasn't going to give up that easily. I couldn't stop until I found it. I don't know how long I've been searching, but the sun was setting, and frankly, I didn't care. We retraced our footsteps and still found nothing. I couldn't take it anymore. I screamed, "Fuck, fuck!" Charlie came rushing over to me. "Hey, Nick, I think it's enough searching. You tried so hard, and it's okay. I'll make sure to get you an exact copy." He was trying, and he was right. We were never going to find it. I had to accept the fact that it was gone. I was trying to accept the fact that it was gone, but then the tears came flooding from my eyes again, and I was on my knees, and hands clutched in a fist by my side. I love this ring so much, but I also had a plan. My plan was to take his ring and my ring into the jeweler and get them to add an engagement band to the ring, so I could propose to Charlie with the ring he once gave me. It would be so heartfelt and special, but that can never happen because I'm an idiot. I wanted to make our engagement as special and heartfelt as I could, because Charlie and me both love that kind of stuff. If I did that, it would have been so sentimental, but I can never do that now. I ruined it. Time skip. Charlie's perspective. Nick was devastated. He was sitting in the passenger seat for the first time in, I honestly don't know how long. When we were together, he always drives. Nick usually has bets backseat driving syndrome, but tonight he was as quiet as a mouse. He's curled up against me with his hands blocking his face. He hated it when people saw him cry. He hated letting people see his vulnerability and emotions. That's something I definitely want to work on. He should be able to let his guard down with me. I pull out my phone and open up Spotify. I play our Taylor Swift playlist. Taylor has been his favorite artist since I turned him into a Swiftie. He lifts his hands off his face and stares at me. Come on, you have to smile at least a little bit. It's Taylor. He cracks a bit of a smile. Then I say, how about we watch a Marvel film? Whichever one you want. His smile doubles in size and he says, really? You'll watch a Marvel film with me? Even Avengers? I respond, any one you want. I love you so much, and don't be so hard on yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. He smiles, then continues talking about Marvel the rest of the car ride home. I felt like I wanted to fall asleep just listening to the plot of it, but if that's what it takes for Nix to stop crying, it was worth it. Alright, I want to say once again that I have a Spotify that will be doing more spicy content, whether that's heartstopper content or whether that is a different kind of content that you want. I'm willing to do any kind, read any book on there too, and it doesn't have to be spicy content. I'm also posting my regular content on the Spotify page, so whatever you want to see, let me know. I also have a business email now. It is in the description box down below. So yeah, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below just to say hi if you want. I would love to say hi. Anyway, good morning, good night, or good afternoon. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Bye, friends.